welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Life in Discord with us, and they can say their names and what they do in the band.
I'm Chris, and I play guitar.
Are we? Okay. This is normal. Don't worry about it. I'm Gavin. I sing and write, I guess. I just sing. I just sing. Make math sounds.
I'm James. I play drums. I know what I play.
Okay. Anyway, guys, so my first question is, I ask this to every band, how did you start out Life in Discord? How did you get your members?
Ooh. Oh, shit.
I mean, this may be the whole interview.
Yeah, right?
That's sick. I'm down with that.
Members here.
So, our bass player, Thomas, who couldn't make it to the interview, and I have been friends for a while. We met playing in bands. We actually met through my ex-girlfriend. Whole other story. Let's not worry about that. No, but we've been friends for a long time, and I was in a band called Scarlet Avenue, and we were, if I'm talking,
just
fucking...
push it, dude.
Long story short, that band was ending. It was amicable, Jesus fucking Christ. Can I curse?
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, thank God.
Have to be real quiet.
I mean, even still, you've already cursed twice, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'd be fucked anyway.
When I asked that question, I was like...
Cool. So, Thomas, like, kind of jokingly hit me up, like, hey, let's be in a band. And, like, it went very slowly from there. We weren't going to take it seriously. And then the other bands that I joined after that, like, didn't work out for me. So I was like, screw it, let's do this. And then a year and a half later, we found James. A year and a half later, we found James after doing nothing.
Okay. It's easy to just say the project's probably been like 2 years in the making. When I joined, they were only a couple of them trying to get some songs done. A year later, we picked up Chris. That's kind of when the ball kind of started moving.
Getting shit done.
Yeah,
that's what
it was rad. At the beginning of the year, we finally had enough material and kind of ready go-getter attitude to do an album. So we went into the studio. That's the EP that we have ready to go. And yeah, now we're doing our final little bit member change before we start getting into doing tons of shows, tours, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So really excited.
5 seconds.
So I guess so. My follow-up question to that would be, like, how was the first practice? How was, like, the first, like, interaction? I guess you guys had met prior to that, so how did that go?
Oh, it was great.
We met Chris off Craigslist.
That's the best stories. Those are the best.
Yeah,
oh,
so,
that was thanks to me.
I had put up some ads saying that, you know, like, I was a guitarist looking for, like, a serious project.
Man-seeking man.
It was a classified. No, there's a specific section for Craigslist. And, no, so I had, you know, I put up an ad and I was responding to ads, and I got this message from, I think, you sent it.
So James sent it to me because he didn't want to do the fucking email himself.
So I got
No.
Anyway, children. So I got an email from Gavin, and he said, you know, like, we're a couple of guys, we're looking for another.
Yeah, that's.
We're looking for another
6'1" rips. Look at go.
It was like, you know, we're a band. We're looking for a guitarist. You seem real cool. We'd like to, you know.
I was wrong.
We'd like to.
I was so worried about all this.
Yeah, just picking up strangers online. No, they were like, you know, we'd like you to come in and try out. And I remember I was driving in, and the studio's in this really, really sketchy, like, industrial area. So I drive in, and I'm like,
stabs.
yo,
Not that big of a deal.
like, I was like, yo, guys, you know, I'm here. I don't know where to go. And I just remember, like, I was driving by, and I see this, like, 3 dudes just kind of mean mugging every car driving by. And I was like, the sketchy guys are probably the ones that I should go hang out with. So
obviously, Chris doesn't know how to read his red flags.
It was us that were trying to sell him drugs.
Surprised you weren't kidnapped when you were younger. I don't understand. You really have no idea what you're doing.
It all turned out for the best, though. No, actually, the first practice with you guys, I thought was really good. Actually, the single that we put out, "In Your Veins," is, like, personally one of my favorites, because what happened was.
That was us messing around.
Yeah, no, it was us messing around. Like, we had played a couple songs, and they were like, hey, we're going to jam some stuff, you know, just do whatever you do. And then Austin, who was our guitarist at the time, started playing this riff And I was like, that's sick, keep doing that. And James started playing something, and then, Thomas, our bassist, started playing something.
That's not true. Thomas wasn't there.
Oh, no, you're right, yeah. Never mind.
I was playing bass.
I'm a liar. I'm just trying to exclude Gavin from everything that I can.
Okay.
Oh, no, but so Gavin started playing something, and it just, kind of fell out of all of us. And I think that was a moment that I was kind of like, oh, this is really something. Like, this is something that could work.
Yeah, the chemistry was definitely there. I think obviously once you knocked the few songs that we had thrown at you down, and then we just went into a song. We didn't really kind of plan that. And it was pretty much 80% of a song by the end of that practice, which is kind of unheard of to do that quickly, especially with someone you just meet. So that was definitely good stuff.
Yeah,
that worked out. So
I
Craigslist.
feel like I killed
We
the
recommend it. Endorse us, Craigslist.
Go on Craigslist.
They've removed the classifieds, but musician section is still there, so we're good.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna get mugged or get a bag over his head, and now he's in a band. So
it's much worse.
Jokes on him.
Anyway, guys, my next question, since you're from California, what are some favorite venues you guys like to go catch a show at or play at?
I'm always going to be a fan of any place that has it's like a floor show or a house show or anything. Don't get me wrong, playing a big venue is sick, but probably my favorite show I've ever played was packing a 3-car garage with 80 kids.
Yeah, those are pretty bad.
I've never sweated more in my life, but it was great.
That's a hard one because we got actually a lot of venues out here. It's not something we are lacking in by any means. And there's a lot of good places that provide different things for different bands. I'm more of a dive kind of person, so I'd probably say something like Soda Bar or even the Irenic, a little bit smaller stage situation, a little bit more personal. Kind of like Gavin likes the house shows are rad because you kind of don't have that barrier. Even though I do like playing House of Blues or even Chain Reaction, I think every time I've played something a little bit smaller, it's just a better experience for me anyway.
It's gonna sound super basic too, but I've always had a good time playing Soma. It being the all ages venue in San Diego.
That's the classic. That's you have to play Soma. You from here, you play Soma.
Nice, yeah.
When was the last time you played a show, Chris?
Oh, I played Mero. I've been out of the game for a while before this band, but yeah, I played Soma a couple times. It was really fun. Epicenter was really cool. Though it's still
rest in peace. Thomas would not agree if he was here.
Yeah, I like Epicenter just because it was really, really close and all that stuff. So I guess smaller venues, a lot like what they're saying. You just kind of get right up in everyone's face, and it's a good time.
I think for me too, also just being a showgoer, I enjoy that intimacy between a band and just seeing them at the same level. I mean, of course, I always love seeing shows at venues, but I think it's nice when it's at a house show where you're in a small divey thing,
yeah,
and they're just right there,
There's something different about being a foot away from the people that you love their music and stuff. It's a lot more personal.
It's real, and you feed off of it. You feed off of people's energy so much better because you're a foot away from a person breathing on you, and you're
oh my God.
I have literally run into people in the crowd playing house shows before. It's so much
fun. It's so much fun.
That way, I'm not the only one getting hurt from stupid things.
No, bring people in.
You're just scare people. Don't go see Life in Discord. He'll hurt you on purpose.
Oh, I don't.
There's probably going to be a group of people coming now just
so it's okay.
It's fair.
I'm just waiting for somebody to take that out of context, and then they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna just get out of here. Anyway,
it doesn't hurt people. I promise. Come see us play.
Life and just.
I only hurt myself emotionally.
I feel that.
Oh man, that hits the core, dude.
Anyway, my next question, guys, to kind of follow up the venues. What was the last show that you attended?
Attended? Shit.
I went to Suffer in Murrieta.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Yeah, no, it was a great show, and there wasn't a stage. It was just us, them. There wasn't a stage. It was right here. They sweat on me. It was great.
The place was as big as a coffee shop. It was some youth center music hall thing that he had done, but it was just this little square. It was actually really, it was so cool.
It was so
we went
great.
together.
I mean, it was so intimate. It was so personal. You were just literally they would run into the crowd and bounce off people. It was such a good time.
I'm genuinely trying to remember right now.
I'm gonna I know. I just went to something, so that's why I know.
I've been really busy with work, and I close usually, so I haven't been to shows as much recently.
I know. Bummer.
Probably, actually, our friends in Headstone played a release for their new EP with just like a bunch of our friends on the bill. So Thomas and I went to that and hung out. It was a really
Great local show.
Crazy. It was a house show that got shut down and got moved to another house, which is always fun. I went, saw 2/3 of a band, and then the cops showed up, so we moved the show.
Like every house show I've ever done.
So there was like, again, like 25 people packed into like this 15 by 15 room, and the music was way heavier than anybody in that small of a room should have been listening to. They're like Code Orangey.
Oh, they're mean, dude. They're so good. I just saw Polyphia, Hail the Sun, and Sean.
Nice.
I'm not Sean. Covet.
Yep.
Wow, wrong mindset. I got my buddy hooked me up with some VIP passes for that, so I got to meet all the guys, and yeah, that was great. It was at the Music Box, which I've never been to, but is really nice. So I was really excited, and then yeah, everybody in Hail the Sun was really cool.
Yes,
so
they are tight. I love Donnie. Shouts to Donnie. He's the man.
Oh, Donnie's a god.
But anyway, my next question, guys, is probably an important question for you to answer. What are some of your musical influences?
Should we just go?
Should we do top
How
five?
long do we have?
Top five. Let's limit ourselves a
As
little
long
bit.
as you want.
Oh my God! Don't do
Just
this.
don't go from like the beginning of time, though. I mean, like,
Okay,
So,
all right, Beethoven is my boy.
okay, cool, sick.
Sticks on rocks and stuff in
So-
caveman time.
I was a youth kid growing up.
I feel that.
So,
Not anymore.
oh, you very much not now.
Neither am I. So
Don't tell my grandparents. So I grew up like late middle school, early high school was like Emory, Under Oath, Anne Boleyn's a huge one for me. That being said, the two biggest ones for me now, especially like lyrically speaking, I get super inspired by Justin Pierre from Motion City Soundtrack.
Oh, his new album.
Just the way he writes. Matt Thiessen from Reliant K is a huge one for me too.
Oof.
It's a different style than what I write, obviously, but like the playfulness in how he writes has always stood out to me.
His metaphors.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys got some good metaphors.
And then my favorite
Metaphors.
band that's been really inspiring me just in general lately is All Get Out.
yeah,
If you've listened
they're
to them.
awesome. Yep.
So good. And Nathan Hussey, their singer, is the nicest dude. Basically, actually, one of the songs on the EP I wrote immediately after my old band opened for them. I had literally the day before gone through a breakup that basically like destroyed me. You know,
the
Oh,
one
yeah.
breakup. We all know what he's talking about. The big.
Yeah,
kahuna.
no, it fucked me up.
There's some levity in there.
Yeah, there you go.
That
Some
was a big
motivation.
kahuna.
So I basically spent their entire hour-long set crying my eyes out.
I feel that.
And
too.
it's like, I punched out this song in like 10 minutes after having a conversation with him and just like thanking him, because they've like helped me through a lot even before that. And yeah, I just knocked the lyrics for the song out in like 15 minutes, and it means a lot to me. So, and just, I don't know, the way he writes just always hits me really hard. I would say that he's the reason that all of the way I write is so emotionally driven, because even if you're not saying explicitly, you know what I mean? Like, you can always get that emotion out. Anyway, that's me.
I'm still thinking. All right. Okay. So, some of my biggest influences would be from when I first started developing a taste in music. I guess like when I first started like going out and listening to bands. Like, I guess Rise Against would be the first one. Like I picked up Suffer and the Witness. That's always that's always been like a huge.
Remember that album?
That album's always kind of been a huge influence on the way I write for like guitars and all that kind of stuff. But
I remember my first time playing Guitar Hero.
Oh my god.
one song.
You got the emotional speech just break the second it gets into his.
Yeah, my second influence is Guitar Hero.
The three
No.
fourths I know.
So
Jesus Christ.
no, so the past couple years, like when I really started writing really hardcore, I guess would be a lot like Birds.
Oh
They
yeah.
just- a lot like Birds has really been.
Your prog side.
Yeah, I got a lot of my progressive stuff from a lot like Birds, and there's a couple bands like Protest the Hero. I ended up getting into a lot of progressive stuff from them and bands like Closure in Moscow. And then there's bands like the Deer Hunter and I guess like Manchester Orchestra and like kind of softer stuff that's also influenced. I guess like a lot of the atmosphere that I try to cultivate and song structures and stuff like that. So I guess it'd be a lot like Birds, Deer Hunter, Circus Survive,
Definitely
Thrice
that.
as of late actually.
Mhm.
Thrice is a big one. So I guess those would be the big ones for me.
That's rad.
James.
That's good.
Pretty sure
Yeah,
the same ones.
I'm a little old school, so my references kind of pull back a bit.
It's because he's 60 years old.
Yeah, 65.
Knew it.
I qualify from Medi-Cal. So like my favorite band is Alexis on Fire. I like bands Thrice, Bayside, like Every Time I Die, and like Funeral for a Friend status. So when I come to drum writing, I'm usually very clean to the point. I like to have things that have a lot of dynamic, a lot of control. I like to let him do his fun progressive stuff, but have me be the driving, banging force. So yeah, I like to bang. So like so good example of drums would be something like I would take a lot of reference from Chris from Bayside, their most recent drummer. He's probably really one of the better studio clean drummers out there. Even the drummer from Thrice is just absolutely great at making dynamics in very simplistic form that are very complicated, but he makes it sound like it's smooth. So that's where I take a lot of what I play and how I play. So
And I will say, our bass player Thomas
it's awful.
he brings so he brings like the most out there like
He's probably
influence like among us.
Okay.
Like so Thomas and I met like playing pop punk basically.
Okay.
I played in a pop punk band for 6 years. So I'm sorry to everybody.
I love
but no, so I know he's obviously into your like Blink-182s, and he's a huge Neck Deep fan.
Yeah.
But
He's also really into
actually a big one that everybody in the band but Chris loves is Silverstein.
Oh.
No, not like Silverstein.
I'm not trying to.
I fucking love Silverstein.
They're so good.
It's not that he doesn't like Silverstein, he just wasn't luckily introduced to Silverstein. So
Until recent, yeah.
the
So
late bloomer.
that was not
I
shit
feel
talk.
That was
Go with that. We'll
Yes.
fight it out after.
I already
you
got that out.
you cannot touch Silverstein.
Right.
Let's just say that right there.
He's
And
into
what's his face is
your
a fantastic drummer. Whew.
he's into your like he's into more metalcore stuff too, like your Wage War, like Mouth to Flames,
In Heart's Way, like
Probably, yeah.
yeah, that kind of vibe. So
he loves.
he's very like
He's seen Weak Heart.
he has a very heavy playing style, but it works.
It works
you know?
really well actually because he's on bass, so he kind of. I tend to get really, like stupidly like intricate and like shiny, and then like he just kind of keeps me grounded. Like both him and James keep me from going directly to the clouds. Like it works really well.
That's our dynamic, is that when me and Thomas lock in, we go kind of hard. We go kind of in a very groove-heavy situation, but we both have hardcore backgrounds. I come from a lot of post-hardcore bands. He loves hardcore, so you kind of have that feeling, but because of what Chris is doing on top of it with Gavin, we kind of hide a lot of what we're kind of taking from heavier bands. Some of those grooves, if you took them and just put them by themselves, would be like, damn, that's kind of mean. And then you get Chris, who just puts this melody on top that's gorgeous, and you're like, oh, that's a different song. It's
That's
amazing.
where a lot of our
Thomas is really good at writing hooks
dynamic back and forth comes from. Is Thomas and James just have this heavy ass backbone,
Mhm.
and Chris and I both listen to a lot of really pretty music.
I just play heavy. I
I'm a
just
youth
play
group
heavy for
kid.
so
I
long.
grew up like playing in church bands,
Mhm.
so a lot of that like
Dude, just love
almost
ballads.
like U2-y sound that every single modern worship band plays.
Yes.
Every modern worship band is a YouTube cover band. That they
Yeah, they just don't know it.
I have never heard more dotted eighths.
Yeah, he loves that. Oh, he loves that stuff. I love that stuff too, so I can't talk.
No, but I get a lot of influence from that just because they're very. I'm not religious anymore, but like something I've always respected is like at least musicianship wise it's always such a dynamic thing they bring back, and they know how to bring it down and then just punch you in the face, you know what I mean? Which it sounds weird for anything I've compared to U2 ever, but
punch you in the face with Jesus, you know, that's the thing.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Jesus coming for you.
It's like, what do you call those old like blow up things that you would put on your fist like as kids?
Sock and boppers.
Sock and boppers.
Sock and boppers. I don't know.
No, I compare
Jesus.
Punched by Jesus to sock and boppers.
Hi, we're live on Discord. Please like
Oh
us.
god.
Don't hate us.
I think it's on one of our next shirt
Please.
designs though. Just Jesus.
Jesus, just like button Jesus from Dogma, just with some.
Absolutely.
God.
Anyway, so we're gonna kind of rope this back in a little bit here.
Okay. Yeah. Who is this time? Hold on.
My next question, guys, getting into more recent stuff. Who have you been jamming?
I've been listening to the album "Beggars" by Thrice for like the past week.
Sick.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't look at my
Spotify.
Palms is
Hold
so
on.
good.
Like,
Like, you have a jam of Palms though?
Okay, Palms is good, but I don't know. It's something about Beggars is just it's dirty. It's gross. I love it. It's so good. And then the new Me Without You.
Yeah.
The new 21 Pilots.
Oh
Don't
my
judge
God.
me. It's fucking
It's so good. I don't care.
It's so
Judge
good.
all you want. Those guys killed it.
There's one more that I was
stupid.
I keep going back to the new Trash Boat album.
Trash
Oh
Boat.
yes,
I'm trying to. I keep going back. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
Coming back to it actually makes it better because I feel like you get to hear more stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Because when that came out, I was going hard on that and Real Friends like crazy, and I kind of got burnt a little bit. I was like, oh, now it's even better. Than
I've
it
been
was.
jamming a lot of the new Justin Pierre record, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
My friends in Fiore just dropped a track. It's very. Okay, I hate comparing Brand New because fuck Jesse Lacey, but
Damn, dude.
it's like Deja. It's like right between Deja and Devil and God
Oh,
without
sick. Okay.
the sexual shit.
Not touching teenagers.
Yikes.
Anyway, next.
I wouldn't have gone there,
So
but yeah.
one band that I've been like jamming like crazy. Everything they drop was amazing. Our homies in Dead Lakes from Seattle.
Oh my God! I
don't
forgot
know
about
if
this
you-
place.
They're first of all the nicest fucking people in the world.
So good.
And it's just every single track that they drop is incredible,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they do it, and it upsets me.
They dropped the EP "Nothing Is Sacred." Is it "Nothing Is Sacred"?
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh my God! It's incredible.
It's so
Every
good.
song is like flawlessly written.
Goldfire, the single from the record, is my song of the year. Like,
Oh, it's so good.
no question.
It's such good
Absolutely.
I Takers Leavers.
Yeah, I was about
That
to,
was
I was
literally
gonna
gonna be
say
my next
that. Yeah,
thing.
I was gonna say Taker's Leavers' new EP is so good.
If you're
So
into probably what, like Coheed meets Circa.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much as accurate as you can probably get it.
They're-
It's really good.
It's just pure old throwback post-hardcore, and it's so good.
It's stupid. There's been a lot that's come out this year, like
Yeah.
a lot of music.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Every Friday seems to be kind of like Christmas. If you really like music, it's
Yeah.
great.
Oh yeah.
As far as what I've been jamming this week, and I have to say it in weekly terms because it's just just great. The home team dropped a great record.
Oh yeah.
Those
Shout outs
guys did
to
really good.
homies.
Yes, those, and I was really impressed with that, and it's one of those records that, because if you get so much music like I do, if something sticks out, it's even more so impressive, just because you're like, I've got all 5 more albums, and I'm still stuck.
Backlog.
Justin Pierre's album is just flat out, like, what I've been missing from not having Motion City soundtrack for so long,
Yeah.
and I've had that on repeat. What's the last one? And then surprisingly, I actually like the new Atreyu album. I know that's probably going to get me a little bit in trouble both ways. Surprisingly, I loved it. I know. I grew up with Atreyu. So, you guys can talk whatever you want, but like the last one before this was okay, and this was definitely a better direction. It's as good as what Beartooth just dropped, and kind of that rock kind of middle ground is really good. Beartooth did a great job as well. And then, Thrice's Palms is probably the other album last month that really kind of...
Yeah. And then there's
those
always
guys can't really do any wrong.
There's always those 2 or 3 albums that we keep coming back to. I've been on Do You Know What You Are by Texas Is the Reason.
Oh,
That's a
sick.
good
Yes.
Lucy Gray by Envy on the Coast. Those
Yeah,
have been
that-
my two recent ones.
That album, I will always like stop what I'm doing. Envy on the Coast is so
Oh.
good.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see them last year, and they are so amazingly good live. I would totally go see them again if they did another tour. So, Envy, let's do it. Let's get another tour going.
All right, let's do this. Come on, Ryan
Someone
Hunter.
tag Envy in
Come
the
on,
comments.
let's do this.
Tag Envy.
Stop,
Make sure
stop
to
first
tweet at
round.
Envy at the Coast. Anyway, guys, another fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh, we've had this conversation.
Okay, we're bad at this because we've been up to do emo nights and we can never agree on anything.
Yeah, right now we're currently working on an emo like cover set, so it's been kind of one of those things where that whole can has been opened, and we won't stop talking about what if we do, what if we do,
What was it?
what if we
What
do.
was the top one?
Oh my gosh.
We have Silverstein, Smile in Your
Sleep.
Sleep. We would
Okay,
love to do
classic.
that. I think
We kind of settled on, this is totally
That's one
off
of our best
genre for
ones.
us, but like I'm so excited about it. Honestly, by Cartel.
love that song.
Did we?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
happening.
I didn't know we agreed.
We're debating two. One of them is Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most by
Oh.
Dance Gets Dance.
Oh,
And then the other one was it Anthem of Our Dying Day by Story of the Year?
Oh,
The last one?
Ooh,
It was Until the Day I Die.
Until the day.
Until the day I-
die. Oh,
And then
Still-
I've always wanted to do stuff like, I'm big into like 90s rock. So I've always wanted to do like a Black Hole Sun.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Chris Cornell.
That is right.
That would be something we really want to work on though, and make
or
make
something
really
like,
respectful.
I'm a huge fan of The Cure, so like I've been wanting to do Just Like Heaven basically
Ooh.
since before either of these guys are in the band.
That's probably gonna happen because I can hear so many cool, weird things we can do
Yeah.
with that song and still make it appropriate. You know, the Black Hole Sun is just one of those things where if we touch that, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be perfect.
It's gotta be so good.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it
we're
has
just
to
gonna
be
look
much
so bad.
history behind it.
And also, like, I'm
It's a
not
good
ever
song,
gonna
too.
stand up to Chris Cornell vocally. So like,
no.
I totally understand that. Like, and there's some bands that I'll see like at shows, and they'll do like a cover song, and they, they're a band maybe I might not know or whatever, and that's what gets me into like some of those bands is like if they can really like do a justice to a song that I know really well and make it their own, then that's like for me that's like totally killer.
It's a great marketing tool as far as being in a band, having something that since you're brand new, no one knows any of your
last
songs
night.
anyways. Yeah, you know what? It works. I mean, being able to sing along to
that
the
was
band.
half call out,
So-
half compliment.
I'm being real vague so that they don't get angry at us.
Yeah, we don't want to get the Baja Men mad.
Oh, don't, no! You already said it. It's too late.
Who are you talking about? No, I didn't know who you're talking about. Who's this? Yeah, so
I just said it's
So
the
we're just
Baja.
gonna move it on, just for your own sake, so you guys,
thank you.
So my next question, guys, is another fun one. Favorite food to eat?
Ooh, hell yeah.
Oh man.
I'm always gonna be a sucker for a good French fry.
Damn it, that was mine.
just one. Only one French fry.
Just a single
Just one
French fry.
single French fry.
I work at like, it's basically like a health food grocery store.
Okay.
We
Feel.
have our own like kitchen set. You know what I mean? It's like Sprouts meets Whole Foods, but like the owners are my bosses. You know.
I got you.
So
It's a rad
they
place.
have a turkey melt there that it destroys me inside every time I eat it, and I mean that in the best way.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, ooh, okay.
No, not destroys my insides, destroys me
The inside.
I got you.
Should have thought that one through.
Ignore my phrasing.
Since you said fries is like obviously the best one. Thanks, asshole. I'll go generic. Like I have a weird thing for sandwiches. Like a good sub sandwich at a place is kind of a good go-to.
He gets Jersey Mike's like every time.
Yeah, that's about right.
You gotta come to New Jersey now. That's
Yeah.
the God. That's
Oh, yeah.
the God land right there.
You have to make a pilgrimage.
My
to
people.
Jersey.
Yeah, when we hit the freaking East Coast, it's just gonna be like sandwiches, pizza, and freaking what else? And beer
Anger.
probably.
Just
Yeah.
anger.
Oh,
James, you are literally the only person in this band that likes beer.
yeah.
Can we
I
call-
drink, but I don't like beer. So.
calling you Father James from now on.
Damn it.
Moving on.
Moving to you.
Moving, not yet. Moving to me.
Oh yeah, you're still here.
I'm sorry. I gotta go with ice cream, man. That's my weakness. Like, I know it's not like an actual food, but I can't.
Neither is French
I
fries.
can't say like no to ice cream. Like if I'm completely full and someone's like, "You want to go get ice cream?" I'll be like, "Yeah, of course I want to get ice cream." Why are we not on the way? Like,
There's a special place in my heart for ice cream.
Yeah, like,
I
I
totally
don't-
get that. Like,
I
Or, like
It's
feed
gonna-
it to my diabetes. It's cool, you know.
it's okay.
can I just inject it straight?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
ice cream
IV. I want an IV drip.
I
of
want
ice cream,
ice
yeah.
cream IV.
Yeah.
It's good. Like I've always been super skinny, so I can kind of just eat whatever I want.
That
is
must
the-
be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, man, ice cream is my jam. So.
Sick. Next question, guys. If you could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest vocalist on your next record or a producer.
Don't do this to me, man.
Gavin just died.
Now this is the time to just be like, you know, like I'd love you on a track. Just at me on Twitter.
Yeah.
So this is the funny thing about this question is like maybe once at practice, Gavin will just like space out for a second and go, "How do we get this person on a track? Like from a different band every single
It's
time."
upsetting.
This is the reason. This is the moment, Gavin.
Yeah,
This is the moment, Gavin.
He's getting a list.
You only
so,
pick 30. You gotta pick one. It's not that hard.
So
Go.
10
10 seconds.
dude. I'm gonna die.
7, 6, 5,
Um,
4.
Probably, honestly, if I had to pick one, probably Larry Solomon from My American Heart.
ooh, jeez, yes.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Part of that is being from San Diego, but the rest of it is Hiding Inside the Horrible Weather is probably a top 3 album of all time for me, and it makes me want to cry in the best way.
I feel that.
I mean, that's a really hard one. I would probably, if possible, it would be like Dallas Green. Obviously, that's my favorite singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? We have a great friend of mine named Nate Hess. He does Bad and the Ugly, and he does amazing singing. I would love to actually have him on the record and basically get
Yeah, the band
Kinda
you
best
would
of
probably
both
know him
worlds.
from. He did drums and singing in A Shattered Hope.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
either way. His voice is gorgeous and good homie of mine. But yeah, that would
That's
be
basically like getting Dallas Green.
No, that's what I mean. Like, that's actually better in my opinion because you get someone who has the range of Dallas Green, but you also have your best friend who you can support and can support you too. It's a little bit like.
Emotions.
Other genders allowed to be sweet.
All right, guys, talk. I'm out. All right.
I gotta say, I would want Corey Lockwood from A Lot Like Birds.
Oh, yeah.
He is beyond he's beyond my favorite lyricist, and he's
Sick,
Great
dude.
singer.
no, yeah, he's I've got to meet him. He's just the chillest guy. He's super cool. His work has helped me through a lot of tough times. I love his scream. I love his singing voice. Like if I could have anyone, it'd probably be Corey Lockwood on the track.
Nice. Nice. Awesome, guys. My next question is, if you could play another musical instrument besides the one you play now, what would it be?
Saxophone. Absolutely
thought you were
saxophone.
Wow, you had even less
Saxophone.
hesitation than I did for mine.
Absolutely not. No, I've wanted to play saxophone since I knew saxophones existed. Like they're just so.
That was
You
yesterday.
see a man with saxophone, you're like, the man's got his life under control. He's playing saxophone. Like that is incredible.
That's not the impression I get.
That
from
was
somebody
yeah. That
who
was a
plays-
far. That's a very far reach.
I played in jazz band in high school, so I have a different experience with saxophones than Chris does.
Bill Clinton plays saxophone, man. Like I don't know what you want
That's
from
why.
me.
It's Bill Clinton.
His idol. His idol plays.
Corey Lockwood. No, I would. Can I change my answer to the last question? I want Bill
Bill
Clinton. Bill Clinton as the feature. Never mind. I'm sorry, Corey. You're second place to Bill Clinton on the saxophone.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Well, that one.
I've always been a really big fan of like piano-driven stuff. Obviously, Reliant K has been one of my favorite bands since I was like 10 years old. So I want to play keyboard, like piano. I do not have the coordination for shit besides bass, which is why I'm singing in this band and not doing anything else. But like, I'm a huge Something Corporate fan. I'm a huge Reliant K fan. Something about just like a piano-driven like emo rock always gets to me, and I've always like, had this super strong desire to try and do that, even though I know it's not happening.
Yeah, I would have to say piano. Piano's my number one too. Such a gorgeous instrument, and it's rooted really heavy in rhythm and beat. So it'd be definitely something that I don't know. I haven't put the time and effort into it. So
I don't mean to shock you guys. I know how to play piano and can teach you to play piano.
What? You fuck! This whole time I thought we were friends.
I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I don't even know you guys. I'm done.
Just leave. Just leave. Get out. I quit.
I'm out of here. Anyway, my next question, guys, is another fun one. I'm a huge nerd, so I always love asking this question. If you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Oh God. Cloud, Final Fantasy. Boom. Done.
Oh God.
Shit.
Yeah, right.
I was like
I
that.
play RPGs and like sports games, and like that's it. So like,
So you could be an athlete or like a wheel.
Or oh man, that's such a. It's so difficult. How is this harder than all the music questions? Like, I don't understand.
what have I been playing lately? Shit.
I love how I had mine ready. Just fucking do it.
You were on top of it.
I was on it. No one's gonna take it. That's why I was on it.
Oh man. Oh, that's such a good question. The problem is that like all the main characters in video games, they're like never happy, and they never have like. There's never like you play a video game where everything good happens to this guy. Like, so I want to be
It's
like.
kind of funny that people who are sad use it as a release. Guilty.
It's like how sad people listen to sad music as a release.
No, there's no fucking. Anyway.
That's true. No, I think that's accurate.
Very accurate.
God.
No, he's not a video game character.
Technically.
He's in our minds. No.
I guess I would have to be.
What's your favorite game, dude?
No, yeah, okay, so like I'm gonna get judged hardcore for
Just
this.
say it.
But like I want to, like I would have to be like Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
That's not a bad choice.
Because like
that is not a bad choice. That game is fantastic.
This man has got like he's like Kingdom Key and all that stuff, but like he's always just so like
Happy.
positive about everything,
My
and
dude.
he's always like, "We're gonna get through this no matter what, because I got friends." So like,
Plus
like,
he kicks badass.
yeah, and
It's
he's
the
like
whole-
he's got a bunch of magic and stuff. Like I gotta be Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
That's a good choice.
I'll throw one in. Probably Ratchet from Ratchet and
Ooh,
Clank.
Yes.
Oh, that is such a good one. You're right.
I actually thought of doing Spyro.
I want to be a good.
I want to be a dragon. Purple.
Good thing Thomas wasn't here for this
Oh, I
question.
know.
We were tracking. He was playing Final Fantasy when we were recording, right?
Yeah.
He brought his laptop, and when he wasn't tracking, he was just.
He was just grinding Final Fantasy
Yeah.
14. Like, it was a good time.
I'm glad he's there.
That's good. That's how I know. That's a good question for musicians.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
Anyway, my next question, guys. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show?
Who's one of my favorites that I've seen?
Shit.
The Chariot probably is one of my all-time favorite.
that's an
live
Well,
shows.
easy
yeah, the
answer.
Chariot is like.
That's a cop out. That's like saying "Let live," you ass.
They quote the Chariot. We only record so we can go play live shows.
I feel like I've been getting that answer a lot. I feel like it's almost borderline a scapegoat answer. So
I'll cut mine.
Because they're legendary.
It's because they're the only band that made an amazing record and then made the record boring because their live show's so much better. One of those things. It's like, oh my god, this is
that's
crazy.
true.
Then you see it like, I cannot listen to this record without like this
Imagining
again.
it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I got to see their farewell, so I it was insane. Then give me a second. I'll have to pass.
I gotta say, probably the tightest live set I've ever seen was from Anne Boleyn.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, God, they're clean.
Don't make me cry about Stephen Christian doing things that aren't Anne Boleyn. He's good, it's just not the same.
It's just not
Yeah,
him.
I feel it. I 100% feel that.
That band was good. He was great, and that band was good. That's why Emerlin was so fantastic.
Another one, Heart to Heart.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen them,
They're
but they're fantastic.
they're not like tight or particularly like amazing musically live, but Nick Zappo knows how to put on a fucking show.
Yes.
And then I'll Get Out. I cry every time I see them. I'm not ashamed of it. Seen them like 6 times in a different venue, like every time. It's always like so depressing but so cathartic.
Tears have been shed.
Yeah, I gotta say, musically, the Deer Hunter is flawless.
Yeah.
Like they're. It sounds exactly like the record. They're 100% flawless. But I think one of the best shows I've ever been to was I the Mighty.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
My heart.
I saw this at the Irenic.
Nice spot.
Like after they had released. What's the not the last album, the one before it? It's like my top 10 albums. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it.
The Girl Falling, the robot.
Connector, yes. They had released Connector a couple months before, I believe, and they're just incredible. They had all these like cool little things they would do. They took they had a box of plastic eggs and they had put beads in them. And during one of their slow songs, they just threw them out to the audience and were like, "Shake along," and it was cool. They took a couple of tom drums and they rigged them with lights. And during this part in one of their songs, that's very very tom driven. They took them out into the middle of the audience, put them like in the pit essentially, and it started playing to this part of the song. It was incredible, and they partied on stage, and I will never ever forget that show. It was beyond incredible.
That's awesome.
James.
All right, so mine's a two-way tie. It's between a band that's fantastic musically live and then a band that's just showman fantastic live. So
to be the pattern.
Yeah, it's kind of how it's split. You either get one or the other. Thrice is going to be the musical. I don't think I've ever seen a show with them that they didn't absolutely just sound even just better than the record, in a sense that they just create such a wall of sound, and it's so clean and so perfect.
Not to interrupt.
Dustin's voice is fantastic.
Not to interrupt, but is Every Time I Die the other one?
Yes, it is. God damn it. Like, seriously?
I was thinking about it and was like, why didn't anybody answer that?
It's because, the next one is Every Time I Die. I remember the first show I saw him, and I say him because dude's insane. It was like, I think it was a Taste of Chaos tour a long time ago.
Nice.
It was with like Bled, August Burns Red, God, I don't remember who else was on that, but I remember he plopped a big fat wooden like podium in the middle of the stage and literally screamed like from behind a podium like he was telling us like this big speech.
Awesome.
I also just went insane. I was like, "Yep, this is we're not worthy" kind of status. You know what I mean? So yeah, that changed me. I think I was 16 or 17, and that changed me. I was ready for music.
I was ready.
Daddy, I'm ready.
Okay. I will have to say I'm glad that you guys mentioned I the Mighty, because they are my personal favorite band of all time, so I love them so much, so shout out to I the Mighty. But I also will say Thrice, I was surprised because I saw them with Circa last year. It was like Circa, Sean, Thrice, and Balance and Composure all on one like tour, and I had never seen Thrice before, and I'm like kind of on again, off again fan, but they just were nuts. They were so good. Like I will say I am a fan of Thrice now, without it.
The live does it. No, the live really does it. Like they just, even if you've not really listened to their music, they have a great live presence, and then Dustin and them musically can make such a beautiful wall of noise that just kind of takes you over. It's crazy. It's so good. And they're really nice guys, too, so it just kind of sells the whole band.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, to follow up, favorite live bands, if you guys could compile a dream tour, who'd be on it?
Are we including us?
Absolutely.
Are we allowed to headline every show?
No, tour. Are you kidding? These bands I would have
never play with us.
Well, it's a dream tour, like it's not.
Oh God.
That's a good one.
I've got a handful, but I want to be like smart about this.
I'm not gonna be smart, but I'm gonna put a bunch of weirds on it. It would have to be. It'd be Circa, A Lot Like Birds, I the Mighty, Deer Hunter. Like that would probably be.
That would work great. I'd love to see that shit.
Yeah, I would probably pull the same kind of note. I would say I'd like to see Thrice again. I've not really ever seen Alexis on Fire, and that's my favorite band.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame because they broke up right when I was.
So did A Lot Like Birds. So
yeah,
mine is also.
They also hate the U.S., so they played everywhere except here still, even as like a non-band, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna see them. Silverstein would definitely be on that show because they're a great live band. I just realized that I didn't put them in any of the lists, and
Shame on
that
you.
was really bad. Yeah, and shoot, that is such a great question. That probably I don't know. What are you thinking?
Good question. Oh, never mind. So okay. This tour that's coming up is already like halfway there. Silverstein as Cities Burn.
Hawthorne Heights.
I'll Get Out. I'm not putting Hawthorne Heights. I like Hawthorne Heights, but not that much.
Okay, well I thought you were talking about the tour.
Okay.
I'll put so Silverstein as Cities Burn.
Cities Burn, dude. Whew.
Probably Emery. I'll Get Out.
That's a good lineup.
That's a nice lineup.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
That's why I was kind of trying to go for that, but not too much, you know?
Yeah.
Just enough. Just a little.
Yeah.
Just enough. I would definitely go see that. I just saw Emery recently too. I forget what tour they did. I think it was for. What was it? It wasn't for The Question because I don't think that's 10 years yet. But they played a bunch of shows. They were awesome. I had not seen Emery either. I would love to see them again for sure. But my next question, guys, another fun one. Favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Damn, he's going hard.
Next.
He's going hard with these ones.
My favorite movie is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Ooh.
What?
Okay.
Straight up.
That's a good one.
I am a sucker for a good like late 90s, early 2000s teen comedy.
He lives 20 years in the past always. Like,
So like
TV shows,
like I love
music.
Clueless. I love like dude. I have no shame.
Which is great. He wasn't even
Straight
doing
up. I watch so many TV shows. It's so hard. It's a toss-up between That 70s Show and Futurama for me.
that. Ooh, Futurama.
Futurama is exactly my sense of humor, which is dumb. I hate that. But That 70s Show is absolutely hilarious and hurts me inside. But like in such a good. I say that so much.
Struggling with
no,
Gavin,
it's-
you should talk about it.
It's the best.
Have con-
To me, That 70s Show is a perfect sitcom because it's absolutely hilarious, but there's a story that you get so heavily invested in front to back.
Absolutely.
I think my favorite TV show's got to be The Office.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go
classic.
right
It's a
there.
bitch.
Only because like I don't even understand how many times I've watched that show from front to back, and I think it's on right now at my house. Like it just doesn't stop.
It's just on repeat.
It's a
The movie though,
24/7 live
that's
show.
a hard one. I think one of my all-time favorite movies, as close to the top as I can think of, would be like Risk Cutters. I like really weird indie
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah.
films. So not many people have seen that one, but it's a weird dark love story. So kind of cool.
You went from the most popular TV show to the most obscure movie.
That's fine. Well, I was
Man
gonna
of
originally
culture.
was gonna do Futurama, and that's one of my favorite.
Wow, what a
period.
man of culture here.
Yeah. So I went with the other great choice, that or Parks and Rec, because that's
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's such a good
Well,
show.
Parks and Rec is just like The Office.
It's that you have like, yeah. If you haven't binged either of the shows, you're not a good person.
Was that a controversial thing to
Jesus.
say? I'm sorry.
No.
My favorite TV show is Westworld, like by far.
Oh, great one.
I've never like season 2 was just beyond incredible. It's like philosophical and the characters are well written and there's a bunch of action and it's just kind of like it's intelligent. It's not stupid. I love it.
Wow, you just called us out for Futurama.
Yeah. You asshole.
And then my favorite movie is tough because it's either Singing in the Rain.
Ooh, okay.
Because
You are taking all of these a different direction.
Do I even know who you are as a person?
Singing in the Rain
I
is
will
the
say,
funniest movie.
I will say backed. That's a great movie.
That-
No,
that's like
it's
the
great. We're just gonna be funny.
Like
I back
it's
that
the
too.
funniest movie I've ever seen. Alright, so it's either Singing in the Rain if we're going like funny, or it was a couple years ago, Arrival.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Villeneuve like directed it, and it is
Not seen that.
it's incredible. It's like emotional and it's tense and it's like intelligent sci-fi, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So yeah, Arrival.
Oh, that
highly
sounds
recommend it.
I heard really good things.
It's like the only movie about like English that's ever been really like like a language that's ever been really, really gripping. Like if someone was like, yeah, it's just about teaching,
aliens how to
language. Like, I would have been like, yeah, it's dumb. I'm not watching that, but it's like my favorite movie.
No, I've heard that from a couple people.
No,
that
it's
movie's fantastic. I can see that.
Awesome, guys. My next question: if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and you could only bring one album with you, what would it be?
Damn.
Do you guys think there's albums of like how to survive on a desert island?
It's an audio book. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
How to build a tent and a fire for
Bear
idiots.
Grylls Survival Guide, the audiobook.
Castaway, my favorite movie translated into a book, translated into an audiobook.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because if you ask me that in 20 minutes, I might change my answer. I gotta go with Listen and Forgive by Transit.
That's a good one.
To me, and objectively, that's dumb. To me, objectively. I believe it's an objectively flawless album front to back. There's not a track that even there's nothing that even has a moment that's not at least like good on it. Yeah, just perfect.
No, that's Transit, man. That's insane. Such a good band. I would probably say Crisis from like Sunfire. That's my front to back album. I don't think I've ever been able to get sick of that album. I've literally tried to get sick of that album.
Why?
Not tried. But I just
I'm going to test the boundaries.
This entire thing in a day before I start, thinking about it, and I can't not enjoy it. There's still times where I start the song back over. You know what I mean? Like I know what the song is. I know it's gonna be. No. Let's do it right. Let's start it back over and do this the right way. And yeah, I've been listening to that album since I was 16. It's insane. Yeah. So like 30 years.
Hold on. How many different ages have you said you are in this interview?
We don't know. We actually don't know how old.
Remember, when you get older, you don't want people to actually know how old you are. So.
On his driver's license, there's just 4 question marks.
Question of the day: how old is James? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, listen. How old do I? Oh God, no.
Oh, and you're sitting next to babyface asked me too.
And this dude's like 18, if that.
I'm not even the second youngest person in the band.
Woo. Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little with my answer.
No, you're not.
I'm absolutely going
It's a
to.
loophole. Is there a loophole?
Are you going to say the Chariot too?
Hold on, I need a second.
You asshole. You know what? Wait,
great.
Come back around. I knew you were gonna pull that.
Wasn't long enough for that callback. Anyway,
Plenty.
I'm going to choose the complete color spectrum from the Deer Hunter.
Yes.
Okay, I had a feeling you were gonna do that. I had a strong feeling.
All of them.
No, but what's your favorite color though? You had to pick one little EP.
Wait, are we talking the album or his actual favorite color?
Both.
Anyway, my answer is the color spectrum collection from the Deer Hunter because it's like 2.5 hours of music, and somehow like all of it is good.
Oh, it's so
because
brilliant.
Casey Crescenzo is not a human being.
I'm not even mad at that answer. I'm just upset I didn't pick something.
Exactly.
Like, if I had to change to something like that, I'd do The Mother, the Mechanic, the Path by the early November.
No, but see, that's 3 different.
See, and then I would do the Alchemy
It's
Index.
a concept altogether, Chris.
We can just go concepts. Only
No,
concept
I'm
record.
cheating on this question.
So I'm
But
going to say
seriously,
the
Chris,
first 3 Wonder Years full lengths because it's a story.
But if you could only have one of the colors off, what was your favorite color off of that at the spectrum?
Oh man, he's asking the questions. Don't ask me difficult
I'm
things.
curious too.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, what's your favorite color then? Tell me.
There you go. See?
I'm gonna have to.
I know mine.
Oh god, it's black or white. Oh.
Those aren't colors.
Black's my favorite on that.
I don't see color.
Black's a shade.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with white actually.
Oh.
Why does it don't stop?
I didn't say
Alright, we're gonna. This is the end of the line here. So we're at the end. So this is the part where you tell them about your band, where they can find you at, and anything coming up in the next couple months before we get banned on YouTube.
Do this. You want to do this?
I'm gonna.
You have this written down?
No.
You're Brett.
I'm
Are
done.
you writing it
Guys,
now?
see you later. It's been nice knowing you. See
Okay,
ya.
all
Bye.
of our social media.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's
No, it's
so
fine.
do we have a business card? We
It's
have a
fine.
business
We're
card.
gonna- It's fine.
I don't.
I have it in my car.
Wait, what is going?
I said see you later. I was
Hey,
gonna
so
leave.
You want to do it?
yeah, I'll just do it. So yeah, we're the band Life in Discord. We have a single that's available on all streaming platforms, so Apple, Spotify, all of them. You can check that out. Our debut EP is going to be coming out in the next few months. We'll have merch, online website. Everything will be under Life in Discord. So our social medias at Life in Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Snapchat, I think, too, because we got.
I don't know. That's Thomas's thing. I don't know if he actually did it.
We are super nice. We like to talk, so people hit us up and say hi.
Absolutely.
If you like the music, let us
We're
know.
only mostly nice. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah. So I'm nice. No.
Ooh, okay.
Fired.
You'll
Yeah.
just have to find out for yourself. And
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
anyway, I always have to ask this question because it's more important for me to know, and it kind of gives me an idea of how you found out about the channel. I know James and I have been chatting for a little bit, but excluding that.
No, I mean, I'm big into YouTube. It's kind of where I find a lot of the indie acts that I enjoy. I use like Blank TV and a couple other channels and some of the like lower record label channels, like Dreambound and like all of them to kind of find cool stuff. And of course, your thing popped up right with it. You've been all about getting local people kind of spotlight, which is really, really important and really hard nowadays. So I respect that. You ask really great questions. And I've just been watching pretty much any video you pop up, I pretty much watch the whole way through and support. So, yeah, that's how it's...
I did not actively know about the channel, but...
No, I got
It's
these
okay.
guys.
It's okay.
Last night.
It's okay.
Okay, so I realized I'd seen a couple of your videos
Oh,
before, but like had not made any connection.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Probably on Facebook. Yeah.
I stalk you. Sorry.
I think that's how I found it.
Yeah, he was like, hey, there's this cool channel.
And Chris was like, should I quote?
Please don't quote it.
correctly?"
Please don't quote it. Please don't quote that.
It was more or
Leave that
less,
in
anybody put a microphone in front of me and I will talk forever.
Wow, just showing
Yes, that's
your
accurate.
true colors.
With that being said, please go check the description to go find out about Life in Discord. They are in the description, and go please follow them, like them. Follow them on Spotify because I know that's a big thing. So if you want to find out about new music about them, please go do so. If you enjoyed this interview, please comment, like, share it, do all that stuff. Yeah, please do it because I need the help
Yeah.
here.
No, I'm saying
No,
do it. I'm
support-
saying it's our fault. If
No,
they
no,
didn't
no,
do
no.
it.
Yeah, it's on us. If you don't like us,
It's collectively. We're in a team. This is a team effort. If one goes down, we're all going down. Okay.
support audio. Like seriously, you do such good work for bands. You got to keep it going if you can. And like, I know how it is. If you like anything you see on your channel, just support it, like it, and keep.
Hell yeah,
pushing
yeah.
forward.
Support all forms of art, dude. This is an art, and I love seeing you doing it. Thank you.
Thank
We
you,
really
and go
appreciate
play.
that.
Check them out, please. It's awesome. Super stoked to listen to the EP, and hopefully you guys are as well. But thank you guys for coming on, of course.
Of course, man. Thank you for
All right,
having
it
us.
was great talking to you, dude.
This was so rad. So much fun. Thanks for dealing with us.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, of course. If you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.